Well, damn, y'all, we've run into a bit of a snag. Imagine that. Unfortunately, these don't fit. These solenoids are apparently aftermarket. Porsche said this is not anything from them. Apparently somebody's been in here before. I mean, that's what I'm guessing. Hey, what's up, everybody? So, hey, it's time for the Porsche. Let's see if we can fix this thing. In case you missed it, we got a 2009 Porsche Cayenne S. Okay, this is the V8 version, and she's stout, y'all. But she does have a transmission issue, and we're gonna see if we can't fix that right now. Now, the problem that we're having is that after the vehicle warms up, after you've been driving around for a little while, it won't shift past third gear. It just gets stuck right there. So anyway, this kit supposedly is going to fix that issue. This was $92 shipping and everything sent right to the house. Let's see if we can't get this in there. So the Porsche dealership wants like $4,000 to make this repair. I think we could do it for around 200 bucks. That's transmission fluid and everything. I mean, it's going to take like $70 worth of transmission fluid to do this, so you have to factor that in. I got a few other things to take off. All I've taken off so far, I kind of spared you guys, was this big plastic shield that goes underneath here. This is a bracket that holds that shield, and here is a heat shield over here. I'll have to take those off, and I can tell you right now, pulling this off back here, I think a ratchet wrench would be your best friend, because there's nowhere to, I don't see any way to get a socket on it, you know. So anyway, I'll pull this off, this piece and this piece, and I'll check back in with you. There we go. All right, that one's out of the way. This big one here has got a bolt over here and one on each side. Let's see, yeah, there's one back here too. Takes care of that. Yeah, that thing it is in there. There we go. So we come to the point where it's time to drain the fluid out, and it's going to take, I think what they said, this is a 7mm. Well, I don't have anything like that, so I just took a bolt. I just dug around till I found one that the head fits in there nice, and then I could put my ratchet on that and pop that loose. You want to do that first while the pan is still attached, because golly, it could be really tight. That thing is on there. See if this will make any difference. Why on earth is that so tight? Wow. Well, that didn't work. Maybe a cheater bar worked. I can't believe that's on there that tight. Unreal. There we go. Yeah. That's why it's suggested that you do that before you take the pan off, because that would be really hard to do once the pan's out floating around. Now, that's not the drain plug. That's the actual plug that we're going to pump the fluid back into when we're done. This one over here is the actual drain plug, and it's a torque bit. Other than that, that's going to be, sorry, didn't mean to move you over. Look at that, just scooted you right out of the way. There we go. Anyway, this will be the one you actually use to drain it with, and there we go. That fluid actually looks okay. So you can see the fluid coming out of it. Looks actually pretty decent. Now, the previous owner did say that they took this into Porsche and had it serviced, hoping that that would help the shifting issue, because sometimes just changing the fluid out will make the problem go away. But unfortunately, that didn't help in this situation, so we're going to go in there and fix the solenoids instead. But that fluid does look good. They say it takes about 8.5 quarts to do a fluid change on this. We're going to change the filter and everything while we're in there. So now that most of that fluid's drained out, I'll go ahead and put the plug back in so we don't lose it. So at this point, we're going to go through and pull all the pan bolts out and remove the pan, and luckily all of these bolts are super easy to get to. Nothing's in the way. Really? There we go, that's it. So I left a couple of bolts in it, one on each side. I just got them screwed in, just a few threads. Kind of help hold the pan up there while I tap on it with a block of wood because it's stuck. There we go. Yeah, she's sealed up tight. I guess that's what you want, right? I did have to pry on it a little bit, but there we go. Just be careful when you're doing stuff like that. Yeah, now that we got it loose, we can take these other two bolts out. That just kind of helps it from falling down and splashing into my drain pan. There we go. Whoa! Let's pull this filter off. Just comes off with these 3 bolts. There we go. That's some more fluid. Alright. So here's the pan of the transmission, and it looks really nice and clean. I don't know if that's from when they serviced it or what, but I mean, you can see it's got a little bit of stuff on the magnets, but nothing crazy. Just normal, you know, but inside the pan, I mean, look at that. That's really nice and clean in there. So, I don't know, man. So you see how this works? You see how it's got that tube that rises way up? Yeah, that's how you fill these back up. That's what was so tight we couldn't hardly get it undone, was this right here. We're gonna have to put a tube up inside there and pump the transmission fluid in. So anyway, I got a brand new gasket. I'm gonna clean these magnets off and get all that done and over with. We picked up this kit from O'Reilly's. I think it's around 50 bucks, but it comes with the filter and the new gasket. So I'll go ahead and get this new gasket pushed on here, and then this part will be done. I still got to put my little magnets in there. Let's see, I've got them over here. I cleaned them all up, ready to go in. These guys here, we'll just put them there. There's no way to really, you see it's got these little marks here. Just put it right in between the little marks. Like that. Easy enough, right? So there we go, the pan's done. Just having to sell at the Harbor Freight. I got this pump for like $6. Figured we'd give it a shot. Not quite ready for it yet, but I figured while I have that pan off, this would be a good time to get everything rigged up, so we know exactly how much of the tube needs to go up in the pan, you know, because it's going to need to go up in the pan and then make a little elbow. Yeah, you see what I'm saying right here? Let's go ahead and pull that out of there. This is the fill tube. This is how we're going to get the fluid back up in it. But I thought maybe we would go ahead and take this opportunity while the pan is off to kind of figure out exactly how this is going to work, because that's got to go up in the fill tube, and then it's going to have to bend over without kinking. And you can see we've got a kink going on here, so we're gonna have to figure something out here. So here's the valve body. This is what we're gonna pull out of here. You can see it's got lots of plugs. We got to get all of those plugs off. Take you a good picture of this kind of stuff, a reference photo, so that you'll know exactly how to go put all this back together, because you want all of these wiring harnesses to run the right way. You don't want to be rerouting anything by mistake. So anywho, that is what I'm about to do, is unplug all of this stuff. I'm just going to use a pick. That ought to get me through this. Some of these have come out pretty easy, like that one there. That one's pretty easy, and then some of these other ones are a little more, they're just a little trickier. I was having trouble with this one. Let's see. You don't want to be pulling on the wires, that's for sure. That'll get you in trouble. So there we go. There's that one. Try not to put too much tension on the wires. There we go. These are actually coming out fairly easy so far. There we go, there's that one. Okay, there's those. And then we got another one over here. Looks like it's going to be the same way. Okay, so there we go. So this one here runs way off over here to this one, this solenoid. Once you get them undone, you'll want to kind of get them over out of the way. I'll probably just tuck this up. Just tuck it up over there. How about that? There's that one. It looks like this one here is kind of weird. I can't figure this one out yet. Save the best for last. So I managed to get all of them off except for this one. I can't get this plug off. I'm not even sure how it works, and I don't want to break it, so I'm just going to pull this out. Whatever this is, I don't even know what it is. I'm just going to pull that out, see what happens. So I'm not sure what this is. Hopefully nothing comes falling out of it. Oh, just more fluid. Okay, well that's to be expected. So at this point, I think I can start pulling these bolts out and dropping this valve body. Let's find out. So I've gone around and got all the bolts out of it. I've got one left in it over here, one over here, just to kind of help hold it up. And it's plopped down now. A bunch of fluid gushed out of it. I'm gonna let it drain for a few minutes, pull these last two bolts out, and this should come out of here, I believe. All right, last bolt. Where'd you go? Over here. In the drain pan. We always got to lose at least one in the pan, right? Here we go. It's coming out. Going in. There it is. Alright, we got it. No man left behind. You see here I got me a piece of cardboard and I've got all the bolts laid out exactly the way they came out of this thing, because they are some different lengths. There's a look inside the transmission. We're going deep, boys. Look at that. There's some clutches. There she is. So you want to test these things out. These are all the shift solenoids here. This is the one that's giving us problems, and I'm noticing that it's really loose in the hole where the rest of them are kind of tight, you know, and this one's just all over the place. So I don't know what's going on there, but we want to test it and make sure that it's good. And the way you do that is you want to get your little meter here, turn it over here to the ohms. All right, there we go. That's what you want right there. And these are supposed to have around like 5 to 7 is what it needs to read on the old gauge here. Hopefully y'all can see that, but yeah, we are testing good. You want to also keep one of the terminals there hooked up, and then go and to actually touch the housing, touch the valve body itself, and make sure nothing reads there, otherwise you know it's shorting out. So anyway, this one's testing good. So to get the solenoid out, we got to pull this bracket off, pull the pin out, but before you can actually slide this out of the hole, we're going to have to remove this. Okay, so there they are. They're all loose. I've never had any of this apart before. I don't even know what to expect. Hopefully nothing goes falling out of here. Let's see. So far so good. Let's set this over here. Now with that out of the way, I should be able to pull this bracket out of here, which will allow me to pull the pin out like I said. Then we can get the shift solenoid out. So yeah, with the bracket out of the way, that exposes our pins. You see those sticking up? Look at that, you just pull the pin out like that. And the solenoid should come sliding out of here. There we go. That's what we're looking for. This is our problem, child. Put the pin back in so we don't lose it. Yeah, this is the guy giving us all the issues. Well, damn, y'all, we've run into a bit of a snag. Imagine that. So this is our shift solenoid repair kit. Comes from Transgo. I got this on eBay, sent to my door for $92 shipping and everything. And what this has in it is a cool little diagram here. This is awesome. You can see there, N92. That's what does third, fifth, and reverse. So that is our problem. That's how I knew that that was the one to go after there. This is the most important part of the whole kit, this right here, because what you're supposed to do is grind off the end of this, and inside of there will be an armature that slides back and forth, and that thing is hanging up. That's all you're doing is grinding the end of this off, pull the armature out, take this cool little drill bit that they sent you, run it in and out of the hole by hand. That cleans it up, and then when you slide your armature back in, it will move freely. Unfortunately, these don't fit. This is the cap that goes onto the end of this. I'm not going to open this because I'm sending it back. I don't need it. Without this, the rest of it is pointless. I have to have a way to seal it back up when I'm done. So the cap is way too big. You can see there. It's supposed to fit on there nice and tight. This is way too big. These solenoids are apparently aftermarket because I sent the part number here. You guys are more than welcome to look it up yourself. Check it out. There's the part number. These are aftermarket, I do believe. I called Porsche. I called every parts store in town. No one could cross-reference that number. Porsche said this is not anything from them, that they believe it to be aftermarket, and that's why they're smaller. So apparently somebody's been in here before. I mean, that's what I'm guessing. So what I decided to do, send this kit back. I did find this solenoid, not this one, because apparently you can't get it nowhere, but the ones that actually go in it that are bigger around so that the cap would actually fit. Luckily, I found a remanufactured one, so I'm not even going to have to do anything but pop it in the hole, put this thing back together. Fingers crossed it's going to work. So that part is on the way. It should be here in a few days. But unfortunately, that's going to postpone this whole shindig because I need to get a video out to you guys and let you know what's going on. And this is where we're at. This is what's going on. Somebody's been in here messing around. They've already replaced all of these with some sort of an aftermarket setup. And, well, I'm going to go back with a factory one because that's all I can find. And a factory one's probably better anyway. So, thanks to the diagram, I knew exactly which one controlled third gear. So not all is lost. I guess the kit came in handy, but I am going to package all this up, send it back, get her 92 bucks back. 70 of it's going toward the new shift solenoid. That's all it costs. So unfortunately, it's going to take a little longer on parts, but I mean, they're a little cheaper. That's kind of cool. Now, if you look here at this solenoid, you see how big that thing is? That is much bigger than the one we just pulled out of it for third gear. This right here is what they're supposed to be like. Like the cap would fit right on the end of this, no problem. And every video I've watched, and I've watched tons of videos on this whole deal, this whole situation going on here and the repair process. Every video I watched, these solenoids were the size of this one here, much bigger. I don't know what's going on with these something weird going on, who knows. But anyway, we're going to overcome it, I do believe. So we'll get through it, no big deal. Hey, you know, some of the money that we're going to save on the price difference will go toward the transmission fluid, so that works out. Don't even get me started on transmission fluid. That stuff is extremely overpriced. So anyway, there's your update on the Porsche. It's going to take a little bit longer, you guys, but I didn't want to keep you hanging, so I figured I'd go ahead and throw you a quick little video out showing you where we're at with it. And here in a few days, we'll get those parts, we'll get them in there, and we'll continue on. We'll let you know if it worked out or not. We'll show you putting it back together and all that too. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in. Please leave a thumbs up if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button, help the channel grow. Really do appreciate it. Don't forget my Facebook, my Instagram, Weirdbeard on there. And I'll see you guys next time. Don't worry, Fury's going to be back in here really quick. And I want to do a video on the Coronet too. We got some trim clips sent in by a subscriber, and I think it would be kind of cool to start popping some trim on this thing. See what it looks like with the jewelry back on it, right? So anyway, I'm going to get on out of here, man. I'll see y'all later.